A man in Ohio did everything right. He clipped coupons every week. He avoided debt like it was a disease. He worked overtime for 15 years straight, missing birthdays and weekends, telling himself it would be worth it later. At 52, he had less than $3,000 saved after 15 years of doing exactly what every financial expert tells you to do. Meanwhile, his neighbor, a guy who ate out 3 nights a week and drove a car he technically couldn't afford, retired at 58 with a paid-off house and a portfolio worth over $1 million. Same street, same decade, same economy. So what was actually different? Not luck. Luck doesn't repeat this consistently across millions of people living the same pattern. Not a better job, the man in Ohio actually earned slightly more. Not even a bigger paycheck, and that's the detail that should stop you right here, because if it's not luck and it's not income, then whatever separated these two men is something you can learn and copy starting today, regardless of what your bank account looks like right now. It came down to 5 decisions, 5 rules so simple that most people hear them once, nod, feel briefly inspired, and walk right back into the exact habit quietly draining their future. Before I tell you what they are, do something most people watching this will skip, and skipping it is exactly why they'll still be stuck a year from now. Think about your own money right now, not what you wish it looked like, what it actually looks like today. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which of these 5 rules you're breaking. And I'd bet it's not the one you're already assuming. Here's the part that catches almost everyone off guard. The first time they hear it, none of these 5 rules are about making more money. That's the myth we've all been sold since we were teenagers, that the answer is a raise, a side hustle, a lucky break, a better degree, a bigger title. The real divide was never between people who earn a lot and people who don't. It's between people who understand 5 specific principles deep in their bones and people who never learn them, no matter how large their paycheck eventually grew. I want to ask you something before we go any further, because your honest answer will tell you more about your own financial future than any calculator ever could. Would you rather earn more money and manage it badly, or earn less and manage it well? Sit with that for a second. Drop your answer in the comments, because by the time this video ends, some of you are going to change your mind, and I want to see exactly who. Let's start with the story of 2 brothers, because it explains rule number 1 better than any lecture ever could. Same house, same public school careers, started within a year of each other, almost identical salaries. One became by every visible measure the winner, nicer car, every 3 years bigger apartment vacations, posted constantly. The other looked from the outside like he was quietly falling behind. Same job for years longer than expected, older car, barely anything worth posting online. 20 years later, researchers studying financial behavior found something that contradicts everything we're taught to notice about who's winning. The brother who looked poorer had nearly 4 times the net worth of the one who looked richer. 4 times. How does that happen? The answer has a name, and once you hear it, you'll start noticing it everywhere. It's called lifestyle creep, the single most underestimated threat to a person's financial future. Here's how it works. Every time your income rises, your spending quietly rises to match it almost invisibly. A raise arrives, and within weeks, you've upgraded the apartment, the car, the wardrobe. It never feels reckless while it's happening. It feels earned, like a reward for the work that got you here. That's exactly what makes it dangerous. It never announces itself as a mistake. It disguises itself as success. The brother with less had simply refused to let his spending grow at the same speed as his income. Every raise he treated as though it barely happened. And the gap between what he earned and what he spent quietly sitting in the background of an unremarkable life became the foundation for everything that followed. This is rule number 1. Your wealth is not built by what you earn. It's built by the gap between what you earn and what you spend. Close that gap and you have nothing, no matter how impressive the salary. Widen it even slightly, and you give yourself decades for it to quietly become a fortune. But here's what should genuinely worry you, and this is where most videos on this topic stop right when the real story is just getting started. That gap alone was not enough to guarantee anything, because the brother who looked like he was falling behind the one who built the gap, who did everything seemingly right, he still nearly lost everything anyway, and not because of a single bad decision he made. Something happened to him that happens to nearly everyone eventually, and almost nobody sees it coming until it's already too late to undo. We'll get back to exactly what happened to him. But first, there's a second rule hiding inside a completely different story, one that sounds at first listen like it has absolutely nothing to do with money at all. In 2008, a woman in Texas lost her job 3 weeks after her company had publicly announced record profits. $3 weeks. She'd done everything the advice columns tell you to do: savings, set aside, zero consumer debt, over a decade of responsible choices. But almost all of that savings sat inside one investment stock in the very company that laid her off. When the market collapsed alongside everyone else's, her savings didn't just shrink, they nearly disappeared at the exact moment she needed them most. This is where financial advice stops being about numbers and starts being about something more uncomfortable: how badly every one of us wants to believe we're the exception. She wasn't reckless. She trusted the company she'd given 10 years to, and that trust is exactly what makes this rule so hard to follow even after hearing it 100 times. Rule number 2. Never let one single point of failure control your financial future. Not one company, one investment, one income source, no matter how stable it feels right now. Because the moment that single point breaks, and eventually something always does, everything connected to it breaks with it, usually without warning. Almost everyone misses this part. It's not just a warning about the stock market. It's a warning about concentration in any form: your job, your house, your business, even your own health. If it's the only engine generating your income. If one failure can take down everything you've built, you don't actually have security. You have one fragile thread you've been mistakenly calling a safety net. Would you trust a plan that depends entirely on one thing continuing to go right forever? Or would some part of you already be suspicious of it? Rule 3 explains exactly why smart, careful people fall into that trap without ever realizing it. There's a well-documented reason lottery winners on average end up in worse financial shape within a few years of winning than they were before. Millions of dollars appearing overnight, and within a handful of years, it's simply gone. Multiple studies tracking large sums of sudden unearned wealth find the same pattern again and again. The explanation isn't stupidity or recklessness. It's something far more universal and far more relevant to people who will never win a lottery in their life. When money increases suddenly, decisions increase suddenly too, all at once. And most people have never built the internal system to make good decisions at that speed. Without a plan already in place, the money makes the decisions instead of you. A new car appears because it's available, not because it's needed. You see the exact same pattern in athletes who go broke within years of retirement despite career earnings in the tens of millions, in people who inherit unexpected money, and anyone who gets an unusually large bonus. The amount changes. The mechanism never does. This is rule number 3, and it tends to surprise people the most because it sounds almost backwards. Decide where your money is going to go before it arrives, not after it's already sitting in your account. The moment income lands without a plan attached, it becomes vulnerable to every impulse and convenient purchase waiting in line to claim it. This is exactly why people who automate their savings, moving money away before they ever see it, consistently outperform people planning to save whatever's left over. There is almost never anything left over. Not because the income wasn't enough, because nothing was ever protected in advance. But here's the detail that should genuinely unsettle you. That woman in Texas and that man in Ohio who saved almost nothing after 15 brutal years, neither of them were undisciplined by any reasonable definition. They worked hard, they genuinely tried, and they still ended up in roughly the same place as people who barely tried at all, which means something deeper was quietly operating underneath all of it the entire time. Researchers studying long-term financial outcomes have identified something they now call the silent decade, a roughly 10-year stretch usually landing somewhere in a person's 30s or 40s where almost nothing dramatic happens. No crisis, no windfall, no obvious turning point you could point back to later. Just years passing quietly while decisions about money get postponed again and again, always for a reasonable sounding reason, because something more urgent always sits directly in front of you that month. The silent decade doesn't feel dangerous while it's happening. That's exactly what makes it so dangerous in hindsight. There's no single moment you could have caught and corrected. There's simply time moving forward while nothing else moves with it. This is rule number 4. Time is not neutral. It either compounds your progress or compounds your neglect, and it never pauses to wait until you feel ready. Money that's already growing doesn't need your ongoing attention to keep growing. That's the entire point of compound growth. And it's why people who start small but start early consistently end up further ahead than people who start big but start late. But the same principle works with equal force in the opposite direction. A habit of spending everything compounds. A small debt that never gets addressed compounds. A decision that keeps getting postponed compounds right alongside it silently without asking your permission. The man in Ohio didn't make one catastrophic decision. He made 1,000 small ones every single day for 15 consecutive years, each one so minor it never registered as an actual decision at all. And by the time he noticed the silent decade wasn't silent anymore, and it wasn't even a decade anymore, it had quietly become the majority of his entire working life. You should have seen this coming by now, and if you've genuinely been paying attention, maybe some part of you already did. Every single rule so far has been building steadily toward one final idea underneath all of them: the gap between what you earn and what you spend. The danger of putting everything you have in one single place. The importance of deciding in advance instead of in the moment. The way time relentlessly multiplies whatever you feed into it, for better or for worse. These were never actually 5 separate unrelated rules at all. They're one single rule wearing 4 different disguises to keep you from noticing the pattern too early. And here it finally is laid bare. Rule number 5, the one that quietly ties every previous rule together into a single coherent idea. Your financial future is not determined by any single decision you make on any single day. It is determined entirely by the system you build so that good decisions happen automatically on their own, without needing your willpower to show up and win every single day for years on end. This is exactly why the neighbor with the supposedly irresponsible car and the frequent dinners out still retired an actual millionaire, while the disciplined man 3 doors down barely scraped together $3,000. Think about what that actually means for a second. The man who looked reckless from the outside was underneath it all running a stricter operation than the man who looked careful. His system didn't care whether he felt motivated that week. It didn't care whether he'd had a bad month at work or a fight with his wife or a moment of doubt about whether any of it was working. The transfers happened anyway. The contributions happened anyway. The diversification happened anyway quietly in the background, whether he was paying attention or not. That's the entire advantage a system has over willpower. It doesn't need you to be your best self every single day. It only needs you to set it up correctly once and then get out of its own way. He wasn't perfect. He wasn't even especially disciplined by any conventional definition of the word. But somewhere early on, quietly, almost accidentally, he built a system automatic investing set up once and left. Alone, spread across enough different places that no single failure could ever wipe him out completely. Decisions made well in advance instead of left to whatever mood he happened to be in that particular month, and then he simply let time do exactly what time always does when you stop interfering with it. The system carried him forward even on the days he made a genuinely questionable choice, especially on those particular days, if we're being completely honest about it. The man in Ohio, by contrast, was relying entirely exclusively on raw willpower for 15 straight years. And willpower, it turns out, when you actually study it closely, is the single least reliable financial tool a human being can possibly use, precisely because it has to win every single day without exception to actually work. While a system once properly built only ever has to be built correctly one single time. So what does all of this actually mean for you specifically sitting here watching this video right now today? It means the real question underneath everything was never genuinely, how do I make more money? It means the actual question, the one that determines everything else, is what system have I actually built so that my money keeps moving in the right direction even on the days I'm too tired, too busy, too distracted, or too emotionally drained to consciously think about it at all? Most people spend their entire working lives chasing bigger and bigger numbers on a paycheck, quietly convinced that the next raise, the next opportunity, the next lucky break will finally be the specific thing that fixes everything else. But the man in Ohio and the woman in Texas both prove something deeply uncomfortable if you're willing to actually sit with it. More money arriving without any system already in place to catch it doesn't solve the underlying problem at all. It just makes the exact same problem bigger and gives it far more room to hide in plain sight for even longer before it finally surfaces. So here's the question I genuinely want you to sit with for a moment before you close this video and move on with your day. Not which of these 5 rules is technically the most important, because the honest truth is that they only ever work together as a complete system, never in isolation. The real question is which one of these 5 you personally have been quietly avoiding, maybe for years now. Was it the gap between what you earn and what you actually spend every month? Was it keeping far too much riding on one single job, one single company, one single source of income? Was it letting money arrive in your account without any real plan, already waiting to meet it? Was it simply assuming time would patiently wait around for you to eventually catch up on your own schedule? Or was it never actually building a system at all, and quietly hoping willpower alone would somehow be enough to carry you the entire way? Whichever one it is for you, specifically, some part of you already knows the honest answer. You knew before I even finished saying the sentence out loud. And here's the genuinely good news in all of this. Unlike the 10 silent years that quietly pass by completely unnoticed while you're busy living your life, this exact moment right now isn't silent at all. You're paying close attention to this right now in a way you very likely weren't just 5 minutes ago before you clicked play. And that specific shift is usually almost always exactly where every real lasting change actually begins, not with a sudden windfall, not with one dramatic lucky break, but with a single quiet moment where someone finally clearly sees the pattern they've been unknowingly living inside of the entire time. If this video genuinely shifted the way you're thinking about your own money today even slightly, that's exactly why this channel exists in the first place. To keep handing you these patterns clearly before it's too late for them to actually be useful to you. So tell me honestly in the comments below which of these 5 rules landed closest to home for you personally, because I genuinely read every single one and your answer might directly shape exactly what we dig into together next. And if you want the next pattern before it quietly costs you another silent decade of your own life, go ahead and subscribe now, because this is only the beginning of what nobody else is explaining to you clearly. See you in the next one.